Well, hey everyone, welcome back to Mike and Eli Take On. This is
welcome back.
It's a show where we blame it on the rain.
Yeah.
And it's been a little bit of time, but it's pretty much because it's taken a few months for my hair to be cut. It was kind of thick before.
It did take, and it took a while for my hair to grow back.
Yeah. Did we ever talk about your pustule? I don't think we ever did. Can we talk about hair?
Yeah, we can talk about.
Let's talk about hair. Pustule is a good word. Number one.
Yes, it
because
is.
I really enjoy saying pustule.
I don't know if it's a real word, but I hope it is.
It adequately describes what you had happen to you.
It absolutely does. I hope it's not a real word, and I hope you made it up on the spot.
Well, let's find out. Pustules. Is this right?
Are small bumps on the skin that fill with fluid. Wow!
Wow! That's awesome! And you're an English major. I feel so good about myself.
I'm an English major. I'm not a what are they called? A
pustule expert?
Epidermonology.
You're definitely an English major.
I don't study skin.
Okay. All right, tell the story about your pustule.
All right, so one day I got an ingrown hair on my face, which I get all the time, and they're great. And you get pus in them, and they pop a lot like pimples. Except an ingrown hair will have a hair that sometimes pops out of it, or sometimes you have to kind of gouge out of there. And this one that I had, which was, wait a second, I can still feel the scar. It was right here.
It looks pretty good now, honestly.
And I popped it like a pimple, and it went on the mirror. And it had, like, not a hair in it, but a litter of hairs.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, that's how I describe it. It was like a cluster of hairs. And I'm like, that's weird, but oh well. And then I went on my merry way. Then I came back later in that day, and I'm like, oh, this thing's really... It's still there. And I go and I pop it again, and it just starts, like, I get like a fountain of ooze coming out of it. I'm like, oh, well, this is no good. And then at the end of that, it kind of like, it blooms into like a flower of hair. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of gross, but that's got to be all the hair that's in there. And I notice, like I can't get anything else out of it, but it's still just like this big, hard spot on my face, growing a second head. And every morning I'd come back to this spot, and it would be like draining it, and like every day it'd get a little bit worse, and I'd pop it, and it would just be like, I could time it for like 5 or 6 seconds, just going a steady stream of this stuff coming out of my face. And then at the end of it, like it was, I don't know, you know those time-lapse videos of like crystals forming?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like when it's like, it's like they're just like fitting like 6 people through a doorway at one point in time. They're just like, I'll just pop out.
I kind of wish that we had been recording back a couple of years ago when this happened, because that would be a fun thing to document.
It would. And also, we're gonna need to think of some way to recreate this. Okay. I've got, I don't know. We'll get some stuff upstairs, and we'll find a way to recreate it for our audience. So anyway, I went into the doctor. They lanced it, and it went, and they're like, oh, okay, well, this must be better. And then like a week later, the same thing again. And like, and so.
Anytime you can say someone lanced your pustule.
Yeah, they did. My pustule was lanced, and that is not a euphemism for anything. And I don't know what it would be, but it was lanced, and it didn't work, and so they just had to cut out my pustule and then stitch it back together. And I never did get to see what that pustule looked like, but I did hear the doctor say, ugh, there's a lot of irritated skin in here.
I have 2 running theories on this.
Okay.
Number one, this was your sibling that just was laying dormant, trying to grow for all these years, that decided to finally start growing. And
so I consumed my twin.
Yes, that's my one theory. And my other theory, which I think is more likely, is this happened during my eyebrow was just missing stage, and then the second it was cut off, your eyebrow came back. So somehow I think your eyebrow just decided to change spots.
Okay, I'm going to debunk the second theory. I think the first one has more validity.
Pretty sure this happened during your eyebrow incident.
No, because it was actually starting to grow back then. It was in the
okay.
process of growing back. It wasn't completely back.
Oh, wait, so your pustule with all the hair is because you were using Rogaine?
Ooh, I never thought of that. Maybe I got some like Rogaine caught in there.
I don't know. Maybe
that's
it is.
what the doctor prescribed was just Rogaine for my. I don't know if we talked about that.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
When I lost my eyebrow,
Yep.
but I wonder if I got like. I'm gonna look that up.
All right.
I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna do a Google search a Google search for Rogaine, pustules and see what comes up.
Yeah. Well, I hope this wasn't a gross enough topic to kick it back off for you guys. If you have good pus stories, any story with pus is good.
Any pus stories.
Tell us and like, share. You know the drill. Anyways, we will see you next time.